Hello, and welcome to We Live for Saturday, your favorite college football podcast. I'm your co-host, Mike. With me, as always, is your other co-host, John. John, how are you doing today?
Well, I've been better. I'm okay. I've been better. I've been fighting a cold here for the last few days.
Oh, terrible. Sorry to hear that.
Which is a bummer. But that's how it would be, I guess. At this time of the year, things just kind of go around. You go from cold to hot to hopefully cold again soon.
Yes.
In
89 degrees today.
I know, and I think that's my body just being like, "This is wrong," because
we had fall. It was fall. It was here,
and I was thriving.
Snatched away from us.
And then I get promptly I get sick once it gets hot again. So, I think that's just my body telling me that, this is just this hot stuff. This hot weather is just not for me. So
no, we need it to be. We need real fall weather.
Yeah.
This whole return of summer thing has not been cool this last week or so.
No, I'm not a fan of it. But other than that, man, things are fine. Things are okay. Dealing with the fallout as we all are here in Gopher Nation of last weekend, but we'll get into that. And
we'll get there.
Yeah, but
we will get there.
Lots of games to talk about. Not a lot to say on a lot of the games, though, considering there were once again another weekend of a lot of blowouts. So
yeah, we start conference play in earnest this week. I mean, it's not all conference play, but it's almost all conference play.
Mm-hmm.
I think Oregon and Washington are playing their in-state rivalries, but other than that, this next week is pretty much conference play.
Yeah.
So that, everything escalates when you hit conference play. Everything gets real. The games matter more. The wins and losses are more important. So I'm excited to get to conference play.
Me too, man. And it's nice, especially for us, because this is where we really get to know the teams. We've done our research and everything, but now you get to see everything play out and against quality opponents week in and week out. And it just helps, at least as far as our job goes here, feel more comfortable, being certain and talking about certain things and certain players. I mean, at least on my end, I feel more comfortable when I get to see it week in and week out. So it's exciting, man. I love it. I can't wait. I love it when Big Ten play comes around.
Yep. All right. Should we get into talking about these games?
Let's do it.
Awesome. Is there anything you want to say first?
As always, yes. If you want to find We Live for Saturday, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can find us on Twitter at We Live for B1GSAT. You can find Mike at Alibaba26, and you can find me, John, at Norwegian Gopher. You can also email us, We Live for Saturday B1G@gmail.com. As always, please like, subscribe, follow, tweet, retweet, all that good stuff. We really appreciate it, especially here on YouTube.
Yes, if you can subscribe on YouTube, we are truly appreciate it. If you are listening, do that. You might decide you really like us.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. Some people don't. But you can find out for yourself.
There you go.
All right. Let's get into these games. So first up, we had the Indiana Hoosiers 73. The now 3-0 Indiana, number 22 ranked Indiana Hoosiers, I should say, and the 2-1 Indiana State Sycamores 0. So this was not much of a game, I would say. I've got one stat for you. Indiana had 680 yards from scrimmage, and Indiana State had 77. 77 yards from scrimmage. That's a beating, man.
Yeah.
33 first downs to 5. Honestly, 77 yards, 5 is a lot of first downs.
Yeah, for real.
It also means you weren't explosive, even when you did. It means even when you got some yards, you didn't get very many. I don't know what to say, man. Indiana looks great. They're hitting on all cylinders. Offense, defense, special teams. I will say, coming out of non-conference, the only ding I will give Indiana is that they looked like there were warts against Old Dominion.
Yeah.
But Old Dominion's a good team.
Yes, they are.
Old Dominion's a very good team. They just, I believe they just beat Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Justice was right when you had him on from the G5 Hive. Man.
He did. He said Old Dominion was for real. And he said, watch that. So the fact that Indiana won that game, I know they only won by 2 scores, but it was never really, you never really felt like Old Dominion had a chance.
Yeah.
So, so Indiana's in a good spot, man. I think they're really clicking. What are your thoughts on the Hoosiers?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they're clicking. I'm just looking forward to seeing them play against Illinois. Like that right there is going to be telling. Obviously, which this isn't a preview pod, but everybody's thinking about it. We all know about it. Indiana, Illinois we're really going to see who these teams are, and I'm looking forward to finally seeing that. Illinois obviously has proven a lot. I think playing against Duke. So but we're not talking about Illinois right now. Indiana. I want to see Mendoza play against a quality top tier defense like Illinois. I'm excited to see that and how well he does, and because I know there's a lot to live up to after what we saw last year with Curtis Rourke.
Yeah.
So I think they have the firepower. Mendoza's just got to show us that he can also be that guy.
19 for 20 on Saturday.
Not bad. Not bad.
Or Friday, I guess I should say. It was Friday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. 5 TDs, no picks.
Yep.
You'll take it.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I want to see. We know how good the stars are. I know how good Elijah Surratt is.
Yeah.
I know how good Mikhail Kamara is. I know how good D'Angelo Ponce is. I know how good Aiden Fisher is. I want to know how good the other starters are.
Yeah.
Against a team that can actually measure up, because Indiana's kind of played two kinds of teams since they started their run last year. They played teams that they were better than significantly, and they played teams that were better than them significantly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is really the first time we've seen Indiana go head. Well, I guess, okay, Michigan was about the same. I'd say Michigan was head-to-head was pretty even. I'd say other than the Michigan game, this is the first time we've seen Indiana go head-to-head with somebody that could really hurt them. Mm-hmm. Because they just happened to draw the bottom half of the Big Ten last year. And the teams they played had a lot of problems and were going through a lot of transition and whatever. So, but they bludgeoned those teams.
Yes, they did.
So, like, they proved they were so all the people who are like, oh, Indiana's a pretender, get out of here. Indiana was great last year. They went 11-2. They finished 10th in the AP poll. They were fantastic. Like, I'm not going to hear anything else. But
agreed.
This is a unique challenge with Illinois, because Illinois also is a team that is in really good shape, but Illinois is more veteran than Indiana. Brett Bielema's been there longer.
Yeah.
So Indiana still has a fair amount of transfers that I don't know like what you're getting. Illinois, I feel like I know what I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm with you too. Plus at this point, again, and I'm not, this is not me saying, this isn't meant to disparage Curt Cignetti in any kind of way, but you and I have more experience seeing what Brett Bielema can do when he has a good team. And I think the coaching advantage, to me, as of right now, I'm still going to lean Bielema, and that's just me. And there's definite arguments where you can lean towards Curt Cignetti. They're all valid. I'm just right now at this point in time, I trust Bielema still a little bit more. Now, what Curt Cignetti did, obviously, last year at Indiana, I'm not taking anything away from that. I agree. He deserves full credit. That team deserves full credit. They only lost 2 games all season, all year. So, like, let's, and it's not just. It was the 2 teams that were in the national title. So, come on. Like anybody, I'm tired of that argument too, or that talk about how Indiana hasn't played anybody or doesn't, whatever. I just think it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't want to hear it.
No. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be a good test for both teams. I'm fascinated, honestly. Like it's, we've seen Illinois be tested against Duke and they showed up and they prevailed, now I just want to see Indiana against a really good team, and who knows? As of right now, I feel like it's pretty coin flippy, to be honest.
And it for sure is, and I also think what'd you say?
And now we're previewing Indiana, Illinois.
I know we are. I will say, no, the thing that's interesting to me about Illinois, well, we'll get to Illinois. Illinois.
Yeah.
But yeah, we won't preview Indiana. I will say on my, you talk about coin flippy, you talk about the coaching matchup. I had Cignetti and Bielema. I can't remember who I had won. I had them 1 and 2 in my rankings.
Yeah.
So I think this is I think we're going to see high level coaching.
I agree.
And I'm excited to see it.
Yep, me too.
But yes, we're still going to do a whole preview on Indiana, Illinois. So we don't need to get into that right now.
Yes.
Next up we have, John, I would say it was the shock heard round college football. This past Friday, we had The University of New Mexico Lobos 35. The UCLA Bruins 10. 10.
Yeah.
35-10. And yeah, New Mexico was 2-0. And yeah, Jason Eck is a good coach. In year one, I mean, for Deshaun Foster to get taken apart, his team, by a first-year group of 5 program, first-year coach.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, 35-10. It was, and it wasn't a fluke. It was 450 yards to 325. So yeah, UCLA should have had more points than they did, but they still had fewer yards by like enough for it to matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They ran for 300 yards, 298.
I mean,
300 yards.
Damon Bankston on 15 carries ran for 154 yards with a 10.3 average.
On 15 carries?
15 carries.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look, across the board on both the offense and the defensive line, that line of scrimmage is god awful.
I mean, they're terrible. Dude, you know what I've realized through this 3 games this season? Carson Schlesinger was a miracle worker.
Yeah.
He was making all the plays for UCLA in the run game last year. All the plays. He tackled everybody. If they were running the ball, he got there, right? And he's gone now. They can't stop. They can't catch a cold, you know?
No. And Nico's running for his life. It's
they're not blocking for him at all.
And I do. I don't want to say I feel for Nico Imaliava, but like I kind of do. Now I guess I'm getting there, because it's just nobody's blocking for him. They can't do anything on the ground. They can't do anything through the air consistently. It's just like, it's him trying to carry this team. But at the same time, man, like, I don't know. Is it the locker room? Is he that big of a diva and the team is just pissed and they're just giving up and they just want to start over? Like, cause they're mad. Joey Aguilar isn't there anymore. Is it both? I don't know, man, because last year Deshaun Foster showed that he could get his teams to fight back.
Yeah, but he didn't build that team. Chip Kelly built that team.
That's true.
He built this team. And I don't want to like give myself, too much credit, but we both said when Deshaun Foster brought in Nico, this might cost him his job.
And it did.
I didn't think it was going to be in 3 weeks.
No.
I thought he'd get through a season.
Yep.
Pretty sure his buyout goes down in December, but they were just like, when you get beat, I bet you if they had beaten New Mexico,
he'd still be there.
He'd still be there. But I think they just felt like it was so embarrassing and so all encompassing and a defeat, and the whole out of conference to go 0-3 out of conference. I mean, UCLA they're probably on pace to go 0-12.
Could be.
They maybe have a chance this week at Northwestern. Maybe.
And I'm not even. I
don't even give them a good chance.
No.
I don't think they have a good chance against Maryland either.
Nope.
And then the rest of the teams on that schedule, it's not great.
It's just, it's ugly in Pasadena, man. Real ugly.
It's real bad. And I don't know where you go from here. The athletic department is $200 million in debt.
Yep.
So like the idea that you're going to poach a really good coach, I think you have to find either a group of 5 or maybe even an FCS coach who's really, really good.
Yep.
And can put together a staff of guys who are really good coaches, but maybe aren't in high demand at the power conference level right now.
Mm-hmm.
And rebuild it from the ground up, man. When they didn't fire Chip Kelly and he stopped recruiting, I mean, this is like, it's Deshaun Foster's fault, but this is also Chip Kelly's fault.
Oh,
Chip Kelly quit recruiting and stopped trying, and now we're seeing on the field what happens when you do that.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying it now for 2 years or whatever, and this is exactly it. Yeah, and I think I agree. I think it's either got to be an FCS coach or a G5 coach, or maybe Maybe there's an offensive or defensive coordinator somewhere that wants a head coaching job, but that's in the power level. But
I
like
don't,
I
but
don't
I
see
need a guy who can do more with less and who's proven he can do it. If I'm
Yeah.
going to, what did UCLA just do? They hired a guy who hadn't been a head coach before.
Yep.
What happens unless you're Ohio State or Michigan? What happens to you when you hire a coach who hasn't been a head coach before and he play in the Big Ten?
Mhm.
How often does that work out?
Like
I can go back. We can talk about Deshaun Foster. We can talk about David Braun's problems right now at Northwestern.
Yep.
We can go back and talk about Tim Brewster if you really want to.
No, I don't.
I'm just saying, if you haven't been a head coach before,
Yeah.
you probably shouldn't coach in the Big Ten. Ryan Day is the exception, not the rule.
Ryan Walters as well.
Ryan Walters, there you go.
Yep.
And also Sharon Moore. It's not, the jury's still out on him.
Yep.
He hasn't proven that he's going to be that guy long term yet.
Yep.
He has to. I mean, I think they're better this year. Yeah. But he hasn't proven it yet. And I just think in general, you're making a mistake almost all the time if you hand over your program to a guy who's never run a program before.
Yeah.
And,
so,
go on.
No, I was just going to say, so like, I know I've heard some people throw out Pat Fitzgerald's name.
That's interesting.
I think it's an interesting thought. But as of right now, I don't have any like off the top of my head candidates who
okay,
could go in.
I do. How long does Jason Candle have to win at Toledo? He's 45 only. How long does he have to win at Toledo? He's been there like 10 years. Win 9 games every year before somebody gives him a shot.
All right. That's
like Jason Candle can't run a power conference program. I know Toledo doesn't win every year, but it's hard to win in the MAC every year when your players get jacked. They win most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat Mississippi State last year.
That's a great example. I like
so
that.
To me, man, if I'm UCLA, I'm calling Jason Candle, and you have to at least hear his pitch.
Yeah.
And my guess is he's had 10 years to prepare it. My guess is it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Pat Fitzgerald, though, that would give you that would be a big swing and would get you a lot of media attention, which you need if you're UCLA.
Yeah.
So I could see going the Pat Fitzgerald route. My issue with Pat Fitzgerald is just since after Mike Hankwitz retired, his defenses fell off a cliff.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
So to me, if you're hiring Pat Fitzgerald, you have to make sure he's coming with like a high tier defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way his kind of style of ball is going to work.
Yeah. Well, I like the Jason Candle thing. I like that a lot, actually. And to be honest, that's actually, I wasn't thinking about him, obviously. And I think now I'm thinking about it.
You weren't, because nobody hires coaches from the MAC anymore. And I don't understand why.
Right now, I feel like that would be the top prospect. And in my opinion, who I'd be going after at this point.
I would. And I hear Pat Fitzgerald, I hear some other names, but I don't know. I would Jason Candle's agent. Jason, if your agent can't get you on the radar for this job, then maybe you need a new agent.
Yep.
Is what I'm saying. So yeah, man, UCLA is in a lot of trouble. The good news is they still have basketball season. The bad news is it's just going to be really bad. And I don't know when it's going to be better.
I don't either.
The thing is, now you can bring in 50 transfers in a year and you can make it look not as bad. We saw Purdue do that. We saw Indiana do that last year. Yeah. Colorado did that. You can do that now. Yeah. So it's a matter of whom can you bring in who can do that.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about Cal as well. They did the same thing. So when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to Cal. We'll get there, people. We'll get there. For those of you who you just have the Schadenfreude and want that'll be at the end. So you want to count back from the end. That's the last game we're going to do not because of what happened, but because of that's the order that it was played in.
Yeah.
So you can go check that out if you really want to. In the meantime, let's move on to the Ohio State, the 3-0, number 1 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, 37. The 1-2 Ohio Bobcats, 9. John, it took the offense a while to warm up in this one. It was not a thing where it was 13-3 at half. Ohio State was not able to get going in the first half the way they wanted to, but their defense is always is lights out.
Yeah.
And then the second half they took off. Starting the second quarter, they kind of, but I do wonder if the Buckeyes weren't like looking ahead a little bit.
I mean, I think it's very possible. I think, let's see. Ohio State is playing.
Do they have a bye this week or are they playing Washington?
They have a bye. They have
a bye.
Yeah.
So maybe they just started taking the bye early. I don't know, man. It just looked like the offense didn't feel really in sync to me until the second half.
Yeah. I mean, but there's a couple. I mean, I feel the same way about Penn State and Oregon as well.
Yeah, dude. We'll talk about those too. But I do think sometimes these super talented teams get bored.
Yep.
And I think when they get bored, they get a little sloppy. And they haven't gotten sloppy on defense, but a little bit on offense. And I would just say Ohio State tighten it up.
Yep.
Because that next game, buys are great, and that's fun. But then you got Washington. And Washington looks like a handful right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting. But I mean, the Buckeyes still, they look amazing. They are the number one team in the country for a reason. Julian Sayin threw for, near 350 yards, 11 yards per attempt, 3 TDs. He did throw a couple picks, but whatever. He looks really good. Here's the conversation I'm going to have. And I know I'm not the only one having it. At what point are the Buckeyes going to admit that the true freshman, Bo Jackson, is your best running back?
Yes.
It's not James Peoples. It's not CJ Donaldson. It is Bo Jackson. He is your best running back. He should be your starting running back.
Bo knows.
Bo knows. Bo knows. And I know you could say, oh, you just want to say that because you guys remember that.
I mean, I do, but he does.
But, and yes, that's true. But the truth is he's been better in all their games.
Yeah, he has. Yeah.
He's more explosive. He brings a different dimension. Those other guys are good backs, but they're not. When you think of that top line Ohio State running back, you think of a Zeke Elliott or a Beanie Wells. I don't see those guys as that. But Bo Jackson.
Yep.
I think he can be that.
I agree.
And I think you've got to buy. You've got to buy this week. I think you go into Washington with Bo Jackson as your top back. And that's just what you do. And you go from there and see how it goes. I think it's going to make your running game more efficient.
I agree. And I think, they want to, I mean, we've seen what they can do through the air. And I just want to see that run game be established too, that they can dominate an entire game against a quality opponent on the ground. And that's what
Carnell Tate had 100 yards and Jeremiah Smith had 150. So, and they each had a TD. So they were great. They look great. The passing offense looks great. I'm with you. I want to see more from the running game. If we're nitpicking because you're Ohio State, you're ranked number 1. Want to see a little more for the running game. And I think you get that by going to Bo Jackson.
I just really hope, this is for our friend Max. I hope that they play a noon game because it just feels right. I love it. I love an Ohio State noon game, man. It feels very Big Ten to me. I think it's
Max feels like Ohio State is owed by the Big Ten because of all the noon kickoffs, which I think is Max, we love you, but it's genuinely funny for me. I'm like, dude, the whole conference is set up to make you succeed, but you're not ready for that conversation. All right. Should we move on?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, Max.
Cool. Yeah, Max, we love you though. All right, we had the number 2 ranked 3-0 Penn State Nittany Lions 52, the Villanova 1-1 Villanova Wildcats 6. This was another one where it was 21-0 at half, so it wasn't close. But Villanova's a basketball school and an FCS football. Aren't they an FCS football team? I don't even think they're group of 5 even.
Yeah, they're FCS football team.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive. Yes.
Dude, it's the same thing we say with Penn State every week this year. The defense looks amazing. The running game looks good. They're efficient, but like, where are the pyrotechnics? Where are the big plays?
Yeah.
Especially through the air? Where are the big plays? You got Andy Kotelnicki dialing it up. You got 3 good receivers in the transfer portal. You have a super senior quarterback, 3rd-year starter or whatever. Like, where are the offensive pyrotechnics? Because I picked you to win a national title. And right now, Penn State, I love you, but like, you do not look like a national title winner right now.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it sounds like more of the same. It just seems like more of the same. Like, I'm not saying that they aren't a better team than last year.
It's still mid-September.
It is, but like, I'm not seeing it yet.
No, not yet.
Even against lesser opponents. And I'm like,
Yeah.
What's going on here? Like, because it's not just us that is that high on Penn State. Like, national media, there were people saying that Penn State could be the favorite to win the national title.
Yes.
But where is it, man? Like, yeah, we got to see it. Franklin better step it up, because I'm not saying that they're in danger of not making a college football playoff or anything like that. They will be there. I have no doubt. But like, yeah, man, if this is the year, then you better start showing it that it's going to be.
16 for 29 just isn't good enough from Drew Aller. And I'm putting that on him and on his receivers.
Yeah.
Like, that's a combination. That's not just the quarterback's fault. That's the whole passing game not working the way it should. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
And I don't care. It doesn't matter how good Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton are. Like, if you're not able to pass the ball consistently to your wide receivers, you're not going to win a national title.
Yep.
You're not. We saw it last year. Excuse me. That held Penn State back then.
Yep.
So, and it's not like Villanova did anything. So like, the defense looks amazing. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
We just need to see more from the passing offense. We need to see more big plays.
Yep.
And until we do, honestly, Penn State probably should be ranked like 6th, not 2nd. And I'm not saying that they won't end up being the number 1 or 2 team, but so far they have not been.
Yeah. I agree.
Right on. All right, moving on. We had the number 4, 3-0 Oregon Ducks 34, the 1-2 Northwestern Wildcats 14. John, this was, I'm not going to say it was ever close, because it wasn't, but this felt really competitive for like a quarter and a half.
Yeah.
Like, Northwestern was playing good defense. They couldn't, they can't really move the ball. They can't really move the ball that much, but they ended up with not, it wasn't terrible yardage output compared to Oregon. They were within the ballpark of it. It's just the offense, man. They're 3 of 11 on 3rd down, which is not going to get it done. And Preston Stone, God bless him, 11 for 21, 135 yards, 6.4 yards per attempt, 2 picks, a QBR of 7.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
I hate to be I told you so with Northwestern quarterbacks 2 years in a row, but when they got Preston Stone, I was like, what did you see from Preston Stone in 2024 that made you think he'd be good in 2025?
It does seem, it seems like more of the same. I mean, I know it's only 3 games in, and I'm trying to find something nice to say here. I do like him better than Mike Wright, but not like.
But he still turns it over a bunch.
He's still sloppy. He still turns it over. He had a fumble that just like fell out of his hands when he went back to pass, which lost them like 15, 20 or something crazy. Their run game looks like it could be something. Hyman looked pretty good for a while. But like, I mean, and also I'm just trying to take into consideration that this is an excellent Oregon team. Like this.
They're fantastic.
Like, so,
they're the number 4 ranked team in the nation for a reason.
Yeah. Like Oregon's offense and defense is lights out. It didn't help that, for periods of time here and there, it looked like Northwestern's defense was having a heck of a time tackling for some reason too. And there was 0 sacks, and little to no pressure coming from Northwestern's defense either. So it didn't help with that either. But like, they also have Dante Moore, and they have they've got an amazing stable of running backs. I mean, it's just they have so much to work with.
Yeah, Dante Moore completed 16 of 20 for 9 yards per attempt, only 178 yards, did throw a pick, but still pretty solid.
Yeah.
And, then Oregon, they did what they wanted to running wise. And, they did enough, they did enough, but they didn't put up the kind of yards you normally expect an Oregon offense to put up.
And it didn't look dominant at all times. They didn't never look like they were in danger, but it was kind of like, I was expecting.
It's definitely the worst they played this year.
Yes.
And that's a credit to Northwestern, I suppose, their defense anyway, because the Northwestern defense continues to hang in there, even though their offense puts them in terrible positions every week.
Yep.
All the time.
Yep.
Yeah. So that moves Oregon now 1-0 in the conference, Northwestern 0-1. All right. Next up, we had the Illinois Fighting Illini. John, the number 9 ranked Illinois Fighting Illini, 38. The Western Michigan Broncos, 0. And also, these rankings were when the game was played, so I haven't gone up and updated them all with the new AP ranking. So if you're like, Mike, you were wrong about, okay, I got you. I'll be honest, it's been a crazy week. I haven't had as much time as usual to dot my I's and cross my T's.
Well, and also we're talking about the games at the time they happen. So
yes, exactly. Yeah. So I feel like it's legit to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was another, this was another one for Bielema. He got the job done. Looked pretty good doing it. I mean, it was only 10-0 at half, though. It was only 10-0 at half.
Yeah.
Which is a little weird.
Definitely.
So that was kind of the theme of I wonder. Okay, you know what I think, John? I think some of these head coaches had their players working ahead a little bit. You can't convince me that Illinois wasn't spending time on Indiana this past week. I'm sure they were. Yeah. I'm sure they were doing Indiana specific stuff along with the stuff for Western Michigan. So I'm not holding against Illinois for their kind of belated start. Luke Altmaier looked decent. It wasn't his greatest game ever, but he looked fine. The running game was good. The defense was really, really good. So, I think we're out of non-conference play now. Illinois' job was to beat Duke, and it didn't really matter what happened in the other 2 games. They did that.
Exactly.
So now they get all set up for a big, call it, if we still had a agreement where the ESPN aired Big Ten games, it would have to be College Game Day for this week.
Yeah.
I think, is Big Noon going to be there? They are, or no? Because it's a night game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're just going to go and show shots of Ohio State at noon. Just the campus, walk around.
Just do that instead of showing the game. Okay, so Illinois, Here's the thing I'm scared about going into Indiana. I just want to tease it. The same problem they have this year is the same problem they had last year, is running the ball with the running back between the tackles.
Yeah.
When they get outside, it works. But when they're inside, it's not always great. So Illinois is a passing team with Luke Altmaier at this point. I think he's efficient enough, and they spread the ball out a little more this year. They don't just depend on the 2 receivers. So I don't know. I really like Illinois going into this game. I really like Indiana going into this game. I think it's going to be a great game, and I'm excited to preview it in our next episode.
Same. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this game. There's just so many variables, 2 great teams, 2 great coaches. This is going to be awesome. And who would have thought? 2 basketball schools just being great at football.
Being great at football, which isn't even supposed to be their job. And Your podcast hosts are just a little deflated this week, folks. Just so you know. I'm sure you maybe you gathered that already. We're a little deflated. Still energetic, but a little deflated. All right. Next up, we had the number 19 Alabama Crimson Tide 38. The 2-1, number 19. The 2-1 Wisconsin Badgers 14. This was a beating.
Yeah.
This was a beating from start to finish. It was what was it? 21-0 at halftime. 21-0 at halftime, and it didn't feel that close. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, Alabama left a couple opportunities out there. They could have scored more. Alabama, man, after what happened against Florida State, I was impressed with the Tide.
Yeah. No, they and I knew they were going to have to make a statement win at this, in this game, and I think they pretty much they accomplished that.
Ty Simpson, man, 24 for 29. That's really good.
Yeah.
He was bad against Florida State, but he's been really good since then.
I mean, he threw for 382 yards.
I know, man.
13.2 yard average. Like, I mean, that's 4 TDs. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, that's wild, dude. Those are wild stats.
And
it makes you worry about the Wisconsin secondary a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo Hallman has not been as good as advertised.
Yeah.
Right. And is like, is he hurt? Is that what's going on there? And the other guys in the secondary, the Wisconsin secondary has been a problem.
Yeah.
Like consistently.
Yeah. I think, other than Hunter Waller last year, there wasn't anybody out there that was, I think, really impactful. And so, and I mean, at least I will give credit to Wisconsin's defensive line, though. They did.
Yes.
Ty Simpson was their leading rusher with 25 yards, and they held the team to 72 yards. So, like, on the defensive line, Wisconsin's definitely gone an upgrade, but through the air.
Wisconsin, they're significantly better on the defensive line, Wisconsin is, than they were last year. There's no question about it.
For sure.
But that secondary, I mean, they just got carved.
Yeah.
And Alabama only had 8 third downs the whole game. Because they were getting their first downs. They had 22 first downs, and they were getting them on first and second down most of the time.
Yeah.
So they were just gashing them. And then, man, on the Wisconsin side, Danny O'Neal, 11 of 17, only 117 yards, only 6.9 yards per attempt, 1 TD, 2 picks, 22.9 QBR. And they couldn't run the ball at all.
Nope.
Not even a little bit. And, their receivers couldn't really get separation most of the time either. Jaden Ballard broke loose once, but Alabama looks great. They look like a contender. I honestly don't know how much I'm dinging Wisconsin for this. It's their backup quarterback. They're playing in Alabama. Yeah, they got crushed, but who's against a pissed off Alabama team with your backup quarterback? How many teams are coming in there and making it interesting?
Yeah, no, I think it's fair to not ding them too much on this. I am still concerned that they couldn't run the ball better, because that is supposed to be, again, we've talked about it. This is what we're going back to. We're going to go to the power run offense. That's going to be our bread and butter. And
Florida State ran all over Alabama.
Yeah.
So we know it can be done.
Yeah. And so I'm not saying you should have won the game or anything like that, or had stellar stats when it came to the ground running the ball, but I expected better than what.
No, but you expect 150 plus yards from the Badgers running the ball. In a good game, you expect 200 plus.
Yeah, and they didn't break.
They got
100.
92.
Yeah, so I didn't expect Wisconsin to win, but I was expecting certain parts of their game to look better than it did. I understand through the air you have your backup quarterback, but on the ground, man, you had everybody, all your starters, in the backfield. So,
and does Darian Dupree or Dylan Jones or Cade Yakimelli look like Big Ten running backs you're scared of?
No,
they aren't. They aren't, right?
No. I'd take Devin Mockabee over these guys at this point.
Wow.
I'm
with you.
Yeah, or Cam Porter when Cam Porter was healthy.
Cam Porter.
Yeah. There just hasn't been a new up and coming running back since Braylon Allen. That's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of cut off. And
that's elite one. Yeah.
So
and he was disgruntled by the time he left too.
Yeah. Yeah, he wasn't happy with how things left or how things were there when he walked away from the or went to the
Yeah.
NFL. So yeah, I don't know, man. They still have things to figure out. I think that they're gonna win. They're not gonna just go. I don't know. I could see them winning at least a couple more games, but we'll see if they can go bowling this year. Maybe it's possible. We'll see if Billy Edwards gets healthy, when he gets healthy, if he is
They
really
need
that
him to
big
get
of an
healthy.
upgrade.
They need him to get healthy and to be
Yeah.
better than Danny O'Neil is.
Well, and Vinny Anthony's going to have to step up again because he was not great in this game at all.
No, and they need Vinny Anthony to take the top off the defense if they're going to be successful. They got Maryland this week.
Yeah.
Maryland doesn't look bad.
No.
And I know Mike Locksley, classically, this is when Mike Locksley gets beat by 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
But I don't know, man. I think this feels, I'm not going to say it's a coin flip, but this feels like a lot more competitive game than I thought it was going to be in the preseason. Maryland has been better than I expected, and Wisconsin, I'd say, a little worse.
Well, and you did say in the preseason that this is going to be a huge game for both head coaches.
I did.
This is to save their jobs, essentially, in my opinion.
Feels like it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how you bounce back as the loser of this game.
Yep.
Because if you look at all the other games on the schedule, that's just, it would be really rough to get off to a start like that. Because, like, you look at Wisconsin, their next 4 games at Michigan, Iowa, Ohio State, at Oregon. So, like, if Wisconsin doesn't win this game, they are staring down the barrel of a potential 0-5 start to Big Ten play. And, like, maybe you get Iowa. Maybe you get Iowa. You'll have a shot against Iowa. That's a rivalry game, and Iowa hasn't looked great. But they really got to win this game.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to preview it on our preview episode. But, like, that's gonna be a big, big, big game. I'm really pumped for it, and I think Mike Locksley knows, and Luke Fickell both know they have a lot on the line, like you said, and I think it's gonna be a game worth watching because there's gonna be 2 coaches coaching with desperation,
Well, and as of right now, if there's anybody I trust to scheme up a better game plan, it's Mike Locksley over Luke Fickell.
Yeah,
to be honest,
true. Which is like kind of an indictment on Luke Fickell, is it not?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. I could be proven wrong here, but we've seen Mike Locksley pull out some crazy, miraculous wins due to just his ability to coach. So
yeah, right on.
He just doesn't like to, create offensive lines or defensive lines. That's really it. So if he did that, he'd be fantastic.
He really would. I mean, dude, every time Michigan, they talk about Jayshawn Barham, I'm like, he played for Maryland. Yeah. Like, I know he's been at Michigan 2 years now, but he played for Maryland. Like, if Maryland still had him, he's a terror. Yep. Like, if they still had him and some of the other guys who have left, Maryland would be much scarier than they are.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. Mike Locksley, he can get some of the talent, but you're right, not enough up front. No question about that. Even when they were keeping players, they weren't getting the guys up front they need.
Yep.
All right, next up we have the when it was played 2-1, number 23 Michigan Wolverines, 63, the Central Michigan University Chippewas, 1-2, 3. 625 total yards to 142. The Chippewas had 60 yards passing, 82 yards rushing for 3 yards or fewer a play, under 3 yards per play. That'll do.
Yep.
But even better, Bryce Underwood, just 16 of 25, but 235 yards, 9.4 yards per attempt, 1 TD, 1 pick, 97.1 QBR. He also, and I think this is exciting, had over 100 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal. I think they need, if Michigan, they don't have the great, like, unstoppable wide receivers this year. They just don't. So, like, if they're going to get to where they want to get to, which is the college football playoff, if they're going to contend for that, then they need to be able to run the ball, not just from the running back position, but also from the quarterback position. They need to get that production.
Yeah.
And they did. And it looked awesome. And Bryce Underwood, man, for a true freshman, he's got really good pocket awareness.
Yes.
He doesn't like take sacks. He he maneuvers around. He steps up. He steps to the side. He does all the things you want to see a quarterback do. Like usually guys who are that physically advanced are behind when it comes to those kinds of skills. He is not. He's ahead.
Yeah. I mean, he's
So
no
that,
Dan,
I think that bodes well for them.
he's no Dan Lefevre, but he could be one day. I mean, we are talking.
You want to take shots at Dan Lefevre? How dare
No,
you?
I'm just saying, Chip. We got to mention it. We're talking about the Chippewas.
The Chippewas.
Man.
I know.
We can't.
He did not walk through that door. He in fact did not.
No, he didn't. Unfortunately.
Yeah. So. But I'm really encouraged by what I saw from Bryce Underwood, and the Michigan run game is what you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of, can Donovan McCulley make enough plays? Because are you ever going to get anything out of Samaj Morgan on a regular basis at this point?
It really doesn't feel like it, dude. And like we've seen Donovan McCulley at times through his career look fantastic, and so he does have to step up and do more. But yeah, Samaj Morgan is really underwhelming for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for a guy as physically gifted as he is, it hasn't been a lot of production in his career.
No.
He's kind of like, it's almost like a Zachariah Brandt situation at USC and now Georgia.
Yep.
Where it's like he just never became a route runner despite his physical gifts.
Yeah.
I feel like. So, like, yeah, they need Donovan McCulley to be that guy. They absolutely do.
Well, I think now that you know that Underwood can, he has the physical abilities to also be a threat on the ground, and you've seen it happen. I think like they're going to have to utilize him in that offensive scheme. So I think he's going to be using his legs, and they're going to do a lot of run design plays just for him. So
yeah.
It'll be interesting.
I agree. I thought they should have run the ball with him more against Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree. And
I wonder if like at some point Sherrone Moore was like, look, we're not going to win this game. Let's save it for Big Ten play.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know what he decided to do there, but yeah, I want to see Bryce Underwood run the ball a decent amount. I think he's gotta be the kind of guy who on average throws for 200, runs for 100.
Yep.
And that's how he gets his 300 yards.
Yeah.
Plus.
Well,
if he gives you more than that in the passing game, great. But I don't think you can count on it just because he doesn't have the great receivers to throw to like an Oregon or an Ohio State or a USC even.
Well, you were saying in the preseason that he looks, some people were comparing him to Cam Newton, and that was kind of what Cam Newton did. So, why not? Yeah.
But I mean, no one should be compared to Cam Newton. Like that was the single most dominant season we've ever seen from a quarterback ever. Ever.
It was wild.
It was, I mean, he was a junior though that year too.
Yeah.
People forget that he, transferred, well, he got paid a bunch of money to transfer. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
All in the past, water under the bridge.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Yep.
We have the 3-0 Nebraska Cornhuskers 59. The 1-2 Houston Christian Huskies 7. This was a scrimmage, 554 yards to 160. I don't know what to say about it. Dylan Raiola looks really good. Dylan Raiola seems better this year already. Yep. Like, good for him. He seems like he was an already pretty good player, and he seems more improved. Nebraska, though, not explosive in the passing game. They're not hitting the big, like the long, I think, the long reception was 32 or no. Let's see. No, the long was actually they had, you know what? I'm lying. They hit a couple big ones. Good for them.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So good. That's what we wanted to see. We wanted to see Nebraska hit some big ones in the passing game. They hit some big ones in the passing game. That's good.
Yeah.
So that's going to be really important because you're not going to be able to just dink and dunk every week.
No.
And, we know the other thing we know about Nebraska is that the rushing attack, it looked a little better this week. But it was against Houston Christian. Yeah. The rushing attack, they got to prove to me they can do it against a real defense.
Well, and we're going to see it, man. I mean, again, Michigan-Nebraska is going to be another game that I'm really looking forward to seeing this next week. I think that's going to tell a lot.
Michigan-Nebraska is an interesting game.
Yeah. It's going to tell a lot. And a lot is going to be on the line for both these programs in this. If Nebraska can pull it off, that'll be huge. That'll be the biggest win they've had since Bo Pelini was here?
Oh, yeah. Easily. If Nebraska beats Michigan next week, that is easily the biggest win since Pelini was head coach.
Yep.
There's no hesitation about it.
Yep.
I can't think of a single other win that comes close.
No.
So, yeah, dude. I mean, I can't wait to preview that one. You know, my gut in a game like that says Michigan has the better athletes overall, but like they also have the true freshman quarterback
Yeah.
making his fourth start. And like if Nebraska can mess with his rhythm and they can slow up the run and make the Wolverines kind of one-dimensional, they could win.
It's possible. It's in Memorial Stadium too, I believe. So
Yeah.
it's definitely. I wouldn't be surprised.
Do you think they could pay Nash Hutmacher to come back for just one game?
Look, if Nash Hutmacher were on the field, I'm picking.
If he were on the field, I'd be picking Nebraska to win going away.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. But Nebraska looks improved. I don't know, man. They haven't played anybody. We're gonna see.
Exactly.
We're gonna see what they look like against Michigan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be really interested to see that.
Yep. Same.
All right. Next up, we had the 3-0 Maryland Terrapins 44. The 2-1 Towson Tigers 17. Thank you. We had a correction in the chat. We were both saying Towson. It's Towson. So thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Maryland looks good right now, man. The offense is
Yeah.
humming. Malik Washington looks great. It's they ran the ball not great, and that's where I think they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because I do think they're a one-dimensional offense.
Yep.
But in this game, that one dimension was plenty.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Malik Washington, 261 yards passing, 12 yards per attempt, TD and a pick, 94.8 yard rating, 16 to 22. I mean, that's really good. He does not look like a true freshman out there.
No, he doesn't. Yeah, again, another team that hasn't really played anybody, but like he's doing everything you would want a starter to do, and especially someone you know as a true freshman, he's not making mistakes, man. He really isn't. He's taking care of the ball. He's not making. I mean, he had that one stupid fumble last week. That like he just he put his hand down to keep himself up, and he unfortunately used the ball with the football in his hand to do that, and. But he's not going to make that mistake again.
No.
But through the air, he's protecting it pretty well. So that I just think Malik Washington is for real. I think Loxley's found another guy that can definitely carry this offense in this team.
He always does, far. Man.
He does.
He always does.
Yeah. So and he's got some solid receivers to throw to.
Yes.
Octavian Smith Jr. is good. Shalik Knotts, Jalil Farouk. I mean, there's guys to throw to that are consistent and
fun names too.
Yeah, I know,
Octavian, right? Shalik Knotts, both fun games. Jalil Farouk, both fun names.
I feel like, yeah, which just checks for Mike Loxley too. I think he enjoys that part of it. But
you think he recruits guys for their names?
I think part of it maybe he changes their name. He's like, all right, so like we're gonna.
It's like, all right, now this is what you're gonna be known as.
I mean, Caden Prather. I mean, dude.
Yeah.
That's a badass name. That's a great receiver name. Ty Felton. I mean,
I know.
It
even like implies receiver, like Felton, like you felt the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think he does. I think it's part of the deal. I think it is. Yeah.
It is going to be fascinating. They have to go to Camp Randall. Honestly, that's the main reason why I probably won't pick Maryland in this game.
Yeah.
Because like Mike Loxley's got to prove to me he can go on the road and get it done. He hasn't always been able to do that, or even most of the time.
That's true.
But yeah, dude, that's a must win. It's a must win. Because if you go, we talked about Wisconsin after that. If you look at 3 of the next 4 from Maryland are Washington, Nebraska, and Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Also a trip to UCLA, which they should beat UCLA. But it's a big, if Loxley's going to get to a bowl game, right? So you assume they beat UCLA. That's 4. They got 3 right now. Assume they beat UCLA. That's 4. They got to beat Wisconsin to get to 6.
Yeah, they do.
They got to be at 5. They beat Wisconsin. That's 5. And then they got to pull an upset somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe against Rutgers,
Possible.
Something like that.
Yep. I mean, talk about weak secondaries. I mean, again, Rutgers, Wisconsin, their secondaries do not look fantastic. So I think,
not yet.
Not yet. It could, yeah. But I think if you're going to see a win, it's got to be Wisconsin, Rutgers, UCLA. Like that's what it's going to take. And I think Malik Washington has the ability to make that happen. But again, we haven't. But to be fair, Maryland hasn't played anyone of note either. So we're gonna see.
And Wisconsin's probably going to be significantly better than Maryland on the line of scrimmage, just because I'm pretty sure they will be.
Especially that defensive line, and if Washington can't function under pressure, then that could be it right there. That's the game changer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right on. All right, next up, we have the 3-0 Rutgers Scarlet Knights 60, the Norfolk State Spartans 10. So, John, you had some thoughts. This was pretty lopsided. Obviously, Norfolk State's a bad FCS team.
Yes.
But you had some thoughts about Rutgers.
Look, the offense, well, let me just start with the defense. To me, this is still Rob Smith defense still is having problems against the run. I know it wasn't a lot. I know that Norfolk State ran for 128 yards, but it was still, they were averaging like 8 to 7 yards a carry. And that to me just is not okay against a team this bad, especially a running attack like this with your defense.
You're talking about in the first half, not the whole game.
Yeah, not the whole game. The first half is what caused me some issues. And then actually, there were, some amazing special teams for Rutgers. Let's give them full credit. 2 blocked punts in 1 quarter, each one for a touchdown.
Amazing.
There was only 1 offensive drive in the first quarter.
That's crazy.
That's wild. The special teams actually scored the only 2 touchdowns in the first half for Rutgers. The rest were 2 field goals. Which again was also a little weird to me that the offense was not able to score any touchdowns when they did have the ball to drive down the field. But
big third quarter though.
Big third quarter. That all changed in the second half, obviously. And Norfolk State just did not have the guys, clearly. So after that, they took off. But it was just a little, again, like some of these other bigger teams, with bigger names. But still, this is a more, I guess, elite program against a much weaker one that had a little trouble in the first half. Got it together and dominated to finish it all out. So yeah, I think, Athan wasn't fantastic. He threw for a lot of yards, but, still only a 37.2 QBR. He was only 18 for 26.
18 for 26 is pretty good.
It's pretty good.
It's not like amazing, but it's pretty good. Way better than he used to do.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
on a curve. I'm saying grading him compared to himself in past years.
That's pretty good. I am a little interested though, but they don't seem to have. They're still kind of running by running back by committee. Like they have Raymond and Benjamin going, taking pretty much equal. 16 to 12 carries.
Yeah.
But like it seems like they're getting pretty equal touches, and nobody is really showing out in any big way.
No.
They
need more production from the running back position.
Yeah, it's just not consistent. I mean, they're doing a good enough job, but you would think there'd be a little bit better. They'd average a little bit better than like 5 yards per carry.
It was 4 per carry, I think.
4
for the team.
Oh, for the team, yeah, 4, yes, yeah.
Oh, you meant the individuals. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. You're
5
right.
Against Norfolk State. You're right. That's not that much against a team that's that bad.
Exactly. So
see
the running game get it going.
I want to see Rutgers because if Rutgers can't run the ball, then Big Ten teams are gonna be able to tee off on Athan, and then it's then it's tough. It really is. But with Rutgers, we're gonna find out, baby, because this week, Friday night, they got the Hawkeyes, and that is a banger of a game.
I'm excited about that. I mean that defense against this offense, it's going to be really exciting, and this might be an opportunity for Gronowski to really show out. Who knows?
You're right. Could be.
I mean against a real team, UMass. He showed out against UMass. We'll get to it, but it was UMass, so that doesn't.
UMass is the worst team in the FBS, so we want to see him do it against a real competition.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we have the 3-0 Michigan State Spartans 41. The Youngstown State the 2-1 FCS Youngstown State Penguins 24.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know how to describe this performance. It was close at half. It was 17-10 at half. So it just was not a great start. Now, ultimately, the Spartans did pretty well, but they gave up 340 yards to an FCS offense. John?
Sorry, I had you on mute accidentally. Okay,
Cool. I
sorry.
was like,
Yeah.
oh no, your audio went out.
No, the Youngstown State passing game was better than what it should have been.
Yeah. Yeah, they couldn't run the ball, but they threw for almost 250 yards on 7 yards per attempt, which is like not that bad. Like for an FCS team against a power conference team is pretty good.
Yep.
So yeah, the Joe Rossi defense has not been as dominant so far as you maybe expected it to be when he signed on at Michigan State, at least not to this point.
Well, and the offense too, like you don't really want your quarterback to be your leading rusher.
No, you absolutely don't want that.
Not against
an FCS team. Yeah, why can't Michigan State run the ball at all?
I mean, because I don't think Brandon Tullis or Mekhi Frazier are bad running backs, but like,
no,
is it the O-line? Like, that's what I'm wondering.
It has to be the O-line, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the problem.
Yep.
And, Nick Marsh is great. Jack Velling's great.
Yep.
They've gotten some stuff out of Amari Kelly. Like, it's that running game, though. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you have your top running back who you think of as your starter goes 12 rushes for 22 yards. It's not great.
No.
And I know they were crowding the box and all that kind of stuff, but against an FCS team, you should be able to run the ball a little bit anyway.
Absolutely. And I just really think Mekhi Frazier and Brandon Tullis are good running backs, especially Frazier. I think
Frazier is good, yeah.
Is really good. And so there's gotta be issues with that offensive line, man. And again, Aiden Childs, I think, made something out of nothing a few times. He did seem to be getting more pressure than you would expect from a defense like this from Youngstown State. But I don't know. I mean, there's something going on there, man, and it needs to be addressed and fixed quick because it's going to get rough for the Spartans if this continues to be a problem.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. They need to figure it out on defense. They need to figure out that running game, or else it's going to be hard in Big Ten play.
Yep.
And I think, do they have a tough game? I forget who they have next week.
They play USC. It's a tough game. Yep.
Yeah, it's a really tough game.
Yep.
That's on the West Coast too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because those body clock games, man.
The battle for Helen of Troy.
Yeah.
They gotta get an organic student-led trophy game, guys. I'm speaking to both.
I was going to say, look at you with the perfect classical reference. You're right. Sparta versus Troy. Like, yeah. Let's do it.
Make it happen.
Yeah. Or no, you probably couldn't get away with that anymore. I was going to say you could have a trophy, or I wonder if you could have like a nominee from each school. And then at the end of the game, whichever team won, their nominee is like the real Helen of Troy.
That'd be cool. That could
be. I mean, I don't know how you would pick the women though. Like, I have no idea how you would go about that.
You could do like a random raffle. I don't know. Like, it doesn't have to be like anything like.
It could be a raffle. I love that.
Yeah.
Not like a contest. Just like we pick two fans. Yeah.
What seat number are you or whatever?
I love that.
Yeah.
That would be great.
And even if it's a guy, who cares?
And then and have a trophy and like she can like present the trophy.
Yeah. I like it. And just whatever you do, just don't let the Big Ten try to push something on you that makes zero sense and nobody cares about. Because they've done that. And so don't let it happen. Got it, guys? Okay.
They will do that. All right. Next up, we had the 3-0 USC Trojans 33, the 2-1 Purdue Boilermakers 17. This was kind of competitive for a while.
It was. Purdue's offense is no joke. I think they can produce. Now, interceptions.
Yeah, 357 total yards, 305 passing. Not bad.
If Brown can protect the ball better, this could be a pretty dangerous offense, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, they got to be able to run the ball better, too.
Well, bit. Yeah.
Like, you got to get some actual running back running. Because, like, if Devin Mockabee, 12 for 45 yards, woof. That's rough.
Yeah.
You got to do better than that with Devin Mockabee. He's a good enough player that you gotta give him a little more space and let him operate a little more. But you're right.
They were
Ryan
keying in
Brown
on
didn't
him,
play
though.
bad. He just threw the 3 picks.
Yeah, they were keying in on Maccabee all game, which is what they should have been doing.
Which is what everyone's going to do.
Yeah.
They're going to do that until Ryan Brown beats them, and then
Yeah.
maybe you can run the ball a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
I like Horton Jr. I really like Michael Jackson III. Nitro Tuggle was making some great plays. Like he was throwing it around, man. He was dishing it out. Yeah. So, yes, USC was the better team. I mean, like they had the better talent. This is again first year head coach Barry Odom trying to throw together something here at the last minute. And to be honest, man, not to make this about Purdue, but like
they're a Big Ten team too.
I'm more impressed with already how tough and plucky they are. I don't think that they're going to be, putting up, they're not going to win 7, 8, 9, 10 games, but like this is going to be this. I feel like this is the team that's going to bite and, come up and bite somebody.
They're going to get somebody. They're going to get somebody who has a bad week of prep and just looks at the record and doesn't realize that Purdue's a dangerous offensive team.
Yeah.
And they're going to get somebody. No, I fully agree with that. John, here's the question. I think we're going to find out this week. Is it time that you and I both have to eat crow about Jaden Mayava?
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
Not doing it.
Because he was good. 282 yards, 10.1 per attempt, 90.1 QBR. They ran the ball really well. It was a good balanced attack. So I'm glad that they ran the ball. They ran the ball a decent amount.
They did. Here's what I'm going to say about Jaden Mayava. He is better than last year, but I'm still, and I'm not saying he's bad either. This is not even me like trying to state that he's a really bad quarterback. I'm just not convinced that he's some elite level Heisman Trophy quarterback at this point.
No.
They have not played anyone with a real defense yet.
No.
So once we see that, and if he keeps putting up numbers like this, absolutely I will concede.
Yeah.
You will hear it come out of my mouth. I will not try to play it, downplay it in any other kind of way. I will fully be like, yep, Jaden Mayava is the real deal. But I am not ready to do that quite yet.
Yeah, they've got Sparty next up and then at Illinois. So we're going to find out a lot in those next couple games.
Yep.
For sure. Give it up. And of course, Jacoby Lane, Makai Lemon, Lake McCree. I mean, the way USC plays that wideout, it's
amazing.
And it's always like this, man. It's always been like this. It's probably always going to be like this.
Yep.
They're just scary at those positions on a consistent basis. And the only team more consistent than them is Ohio State. But even that is only since 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Before that, USC was much more consistent than Ohio State receiver-wise.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dude, it's good for USC. They look good. Good for Purdue. They're improved, So I feel like you can take positive things. I don't think Purdue's going to make a bowl or anything, but they're going to get – you're right. They're going to get somebody.
And they're going to be tough. They're just always going to be a hard out, I think. It's going to,
I don't think they're going to be a hard out every week, but I think they're going to be a hard out more often than not.
Yes. That more often they are not at the preseason expectations of as the bottom dweller of the Big Ten and by any means, in my opinion.
No. All right. Next up, we have the 2-1 Iowa Hawkeyes, 47. The University of Massachusetts Minutemen, 7. Mark Gronowski needed a get right game, and he mostly had it. 16 for 24, 180 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So that's not, it's pretty good. It's 66%, 0.6 completion percentage. So that's pretty good. You'd want it maybe even a little higher than that, but I also, Iowa doesn't have great receivers. So you're working, you got to do what you got to, you got what you got to work with. I think Iowa needed this game psychologically.
Yep.
They needed to prove to themselves that they could run the ball, that they could throw the ball, that they could play defense and do it all, in the same game. UMass is the worst FBS team. Is the worst program in the FBS. They are ranked the worst stadium in the FBS. So it's not much for competition, but it was good to see Gronowski play a little better.
Well, here's the thing. When I was watching this game, yes, Gronowski played better. The offense looked better against a really bad team. But the reason they put up 47 points was the field position that they got from Caden Weegan on punt returns.
Yeah.
I mean, they found another one.
They always do.
Another punt returner that is terrifying.
Going back to Tim Dwight.
Yep. Could house it at any time. So, and Caden Weegan was just going crazy.
Yeah.
And so every time that UMass punted the ball, he I don't know, ran it back for like what seemed like 40 yards every time. Like
you think they'd throw it out of bounds at some, or kick it out of bounds at some point.
Yeah, like why let him touch the ball?
Yeah, why Joseph Harris-Simiak? He's their head coach.
Yeah. Not a good plan. But yeah, this was I feel like this is a victory they needed to get the morale up and to feel like, hey, we dominated a team. Let's feel good about this and build on it. And, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean,
it feels like a must win against Rutgers.
Oh, yeah.
For Iowa.
Yep.
Like to get their season back on track. It feels like they have to beat Rutgers.
Yep. I agree.
It'll be interesting to see how that game goes. All right. And that's all the games.
Yeah. Fantastic. Great. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Just kidding. One more. All right. We have the 3-0 Cal Golden Bears 27. The 2-1 Minnesota Golden Gophers 14. Cal wins the Battle of the Golden Animals, which is extra upsetting to me because obviously our Gopher is far superior to their Bear.
Clearly.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
Goldie is far superior. So, but, the yards were exactly even. Minnesota made a lot of mistakes.
Yep.
Drake Lindsay threw a bad pick when they were driving to score. First, before we go off, let's be respectful. Let's not be a jerk. Let's talk about Jaron Kiave Sangapulatele.
Yep.
He's great.
He's a real deal.
He has an unbelievable arm. He's a true freshman. 24 for 38, 279 yards, 7.3 yards per attempt only, but 3 TDs, 0 picks. So not the most explosive, but like efficient.
Yep.
And he doesn't miss on a lot of passes. And he's got a huge arm and he can get the ball into places where you think you have it covered, but you don't. John, I was thinking about the quarterbacks on the schedule this year. And I would say Julian Sayin probably scares me the most, and then Dante Moore. And then I would say it's Sangapulatele, and then Dylan Raiola. But very close, Nebraska fans, not hating on Dylan Raiola, just saying Sangapulatele impressed me so much that I think he's different. I think he's going to be one of those guys who's a first-round NFL draft pick after his 3rd year of college.
Well, I also think he's just more mobile in the pocket than Dylan Raiola. I think he's just so much harder to track down back there. Yes. And not to say, and this is not, again, no hate. It's just, I think it's just the reality. He's freaking slippery, dude.
He really is.
Yeah. Yep.
So all credit to them. Their receivers are pretty good. Grizzle, DeJesus, Plummer. They got some contributions. Mark Hamper, the one-time Wisconsin Badger for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And, all right. So, Cal, congratulations. You won the game. You deserve your flowers. Here you go. That said, Minnesota really pissed away a lot of opportunities.
Yes, they did.
And we can talk about the Drake Lindsay interception when we were driving to score. We can talk about when we were running.
Yeah, so I don't know what you were talking about. You the last thing I heard you were talking about was the you were gonna start talking about the terrible flea flicker play.
Yeah, so we can talk about the Drake Lindsay interception. We can talk about the fact that Greg Harbaugh, when Minnesota was running the ball right up Cal's rear end for yardage, he decided to dial up a cutesy throwback trick play that lost 8 yards. And it reminded me of the cutesy throwback trick play he ran where he tried to throw the ball to our left tackle last year against Penn State when we needed a touchdown, Ariante Ursary. We needed a touchdown that drive. Wasn't in a bowl game. Wasn't like a game where we were like, whatever. He was trying to, yeah. So
Yep.
Greg Harbaugh, if you're listening, you need to not get so cute out there with it. Like, it's not great. So, yeah. So that's not good. But honestly, John, the two biggest issues we continue to see are the Gophers in games when Darius Taylor, bless you, in games when Darius Taylor does not play, the Minnesota offense, or he's hurt, like against Rutgers last year, the Minnesota offense can become stagnant and inconsistent. And we saw that at times.
Yeah.
Drake Lindsey threw for 205 yards, but it took him 32 attempts, 19 of 32 to get there. So the passing game was not as efficient as it should have been. The running game was not bad. Femi Ijaboy did okay. Cam Davis, not quite as well. And then AJ Turner got hurt, which sucks because he looks like he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
So he may not be in the rotation, anytime soon for the Gophers. That puts more pressure on Ijaboy and Davis, especially while Darius Taylor is banged up. And then in the passing game, God bless Le'Meke Brockington. He was great. 8 catches, 106 yards, 13.3 per attempt. But like, where were the, Javon Tracy had 2 for 34. Why aren't we going to Tracy more? Why aren't we going to Logan Loya more?
Gears.
I know Jalen Smith had a couple drops again.
Yeah.
So I get why he kind of got pulled. He's got to prove he can catch the ball consistently. He's got all the ability, but he's got to prove he can catch the ball consistently. But it's not consistent enough in the passing game right now. And the running game, again, has its moments, but was not consistent enough in this game.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, honestly, that said, Minnesota probably should have still had the ball in the fourth quarter with a chance to take the lead and probably win. But Coy Parrish, man. And Coy Parrish is our most talented player. I love him. He's great. He's been nothing but amazing for Minnesota. But he's a true sophomore, and he made a lot of mistakes. He caught a punt on the 2-yard line, which cost us a possession and field position massively. When we were getting the ball back and had a chance to come down and tie or take the lead or whatever, he tried to field the ball off a hop, like running, and it bounced off him, and they recovered at the 5-yard line, scored a touchdown.
Yep.
And then he got burned for at least 1 touchdown, and he got burned, I think, 4 separate times in coverage. He might have gotten burned for 2 touchdowns. I know one for sure. I'd have to go back and look at the tape. But it was by far the worst game of his young career.
Yeah.
It
was, and you and I talked about this, and I know there's a lot of discussion going around about how him playing, both offense and defense, or all three, I should say, offense, defense, and special teams.
It's too much
on his plate, and that's too much on anyone's plate, in my opinion. And
other than Travis Hunter,
at some point he couldn't handle that. Maybe next year, but this year, I think that experiment, it's a nice thought, but let's move on. I've seen enough. I want to see him be a safety, the All-American safety that he is.
Yes.
I don't care at this point if he catches a touchdown. I don't care if he is a passing threat right now. I want to see him be a safety and be an elite safety that we know he can be, and I don't want anything else to disrupt that. So that's what I want to see. I want to see, our other pass catchers.
Also special teams.
Targets. Yeah.
He can play special teams because he's dangerous there. But I think playing offense is a bridge too far.
Yep.
There's too much else to learn. And for now, there's no saying that in a couple games, if things get better, we could get him more snaps on offense again. But I think for now, you got to minimize his place in the game plan. John, you're muted again.
Sorry, guys. I just keep blowing my freaking nose. I'm sorry. It's just like,
no, it's okay.
Yeah.
It happens.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think maybe if we want to get back to it later, if we feel like we can, sure. Or next year. I don't know. Like, why? It just, to me, it shouldn't be such a major priority, in my opinion.
And it's because he slipped as a defender.
Yeah.
And it's not just this game.
No.
It's
He hasn't
all
played
year.
fantastic. Yep.
He's given up more plays this year in a few games than he gave up like all last year put together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and again, I love Coy Parrish. I think he's an amazing player, but we need to see him be an All-American safety, not an average Big Ten wide receiver.
Exactly. Yep.
You know, I think that's more important that he does that. It's infinitely more important.
100%.
So it's bittersweet, right? Because like I love Coy and he's amazing and he's won us games, but he's a big part of the reason we lost that game.
Yep.
And PJ Fleck didn't come right out and say it, but you could read between the lines.
Oh yeah.
In a way that PJ Fleck never has ever been negative about Coy ever.
You know, and I hope PJ learns from this too.
Yes.
That he's like, okay, you know, I need to take some stuff off of his plate. It's not that he might not be capable in the future, but right now is not the time. Cool. Let's dial it back and refocus on what's important and what we know we can do and get out of this kid. And also, you know, I hope this is a learning lesson for all the coaches, for the coordinators too. You know, I know I listen to Ryan Burns and, you know, he always loves to just, you know, play devil's advocate with the fans, you know, and when the fans see something and get upset about something to, you know, try to play it off. Well, like we shouldn't be upset about the things we see or that, I don't know. It's just, he's infuriating.
He's frustrating. He's a frustrating person to have be the number one beat writer of your team.
Yeah. Well, he was talking about how, you know, because a lot of people rightfully were a little upset that we weren't as aggressive against Sangapulatele.
Yeah, we should have blitzed him more. I don't know what we were doing.
Yep.
I don't know what we were. Once again, it was the Rutgers mistake from last year.
And
like,
when
we need to blitz him more.
And when we did blitz him, he was less successful. Not to say he still didn't find a way to make things happen sometimes, but
way less successful. Yeah.
So why didn't we do that? Why weren't we more aggressive offensively? You know, PJ turtled a little bit. I do think that run on what was it, 3rd and 7? That was a PJ decision.
Terrible. You can't run the ball on 3rd and 7 in that situation. Not when you need to score. Not when you need to score.
Yeah. So there's just like there was some turtling going on. It was all across the board, man. It was just a failure. Now, do I think that there's a reason to hit the panic button? Absolutely not. Do I think that Minnesota actually was probably still on the better team on that field that day? Yeah. And I'm not just saying it as a homer. I do think that I think we were the more balanced team. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Sangapulatele obviously is great. And he was the difference.
Yes.
But yeah, at the other positions, we were clearly better than they were.
But it was just
still lost.
Yeah. Bad coaching decisions, bad choices on the field. It was just a total breakdown of what Minnesota normally does.
Specifically at the line of scrimmage, I would say at the skill positions, it was more or less even.
Yeah.
But like at the line of scrimmage, we were better than them, but it didn't matter because their quarterback, you know, because we didn't blitz him enough. We didn't put enough pressure on him.
Yep.
And also that's our defensive line we say we got to blitz more, but the defensive line also has to get home more.
It's true.
When you rush 3 or 4 guys, they have to get to the quarterback more often than they are.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, I think I don't think this is any reason to hit the panic button. I think Minnesota can absolutely still win 7 to 9 games, possibly. You know, maybe a little less high on them winning 9, but I think 7 and 8 is 100% still in the bag.
Yeah, we're just probably not going to the college football playoff.
No,
I'm sad about it.
No, I don't expect that.
Yeah, I not saying I thought we were. You know, I predicted us to go 8-4, longtime listeners. But I thought if we beat Cal, there was a chance to build up some momentum and be, you know, 6-1, or, you know, going in the Nebraska game or whatever.
Yeah, wow.
And have a chance to make a real run, you know, at that kind of thing. But you can still play. It's not a conference game. That's the good news, right?
Yep.
The Gophers can still compete for placement in the conference and for bowls and all that kind of stuff. It's just, you know, it's just a really disappointing loss. And frankly, you know, we're a more mature program than they are. Justin Wilcox has been mediocre overall at Cal. So, like, it hurts to lose that game, considering we're, like, good for them. And they might be better than usual this year. But where that program has been and where we have been, it hurts to lose that game.
It definitely does. It was a bad loss. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. It was a bad loss. Let's just hope that we got that out of the way. And, you know, now for the rest of the season, we'll refocus and be able to take care of business down the stretch. So that's what I'm
Hope
hoping
so.
for. Yeah.
Me too. PJ, you need to go for it and throw it in high leverage situations.
Seriously.
You need to do it more. Lincoln Riley, you need to do it less. PJ, you need to do it more.
Yep.
Okay? Both of you, I hope everybody gets the memo. You know? Hope everybody. James Franklin, you also need to attack more.
Yep.
Had to attack harder and be less conservative, but than you've been so far this season. But PJ, you really have to.
Yeah. Trust your quarterback, man.
Trust your quarterback. He's good. He's a good player.
You saw what happened with Cal. Cal trusted their quarterback, and you saw what happened.
Yeah.
It worked out. So,
Yeah.
You know.
And yeah, we got to see some guys step up at wide receiver. I'll be honest, I was surprised it was Brockington. I thought he was going to get played out of the rotation, but he's having a good senior year.
He's reliable.
He looks good. He's reliable, but he's not your he shouldn't be your number one option probably.
Yeah.
He should probably be the number 2 option in most games.
They really need to focus more on Tracy and Loya, dude. I mean,
Tracy, Loya, and Jalen Smith if they can get him to catch the ball.
I think you don't take Smith out of the game, but I want the guys with experience. I want to see Tracy and Loya get the focus, the main, whatever. So I'm Jalen Smith. I don't trust yet. Once he earns that back, cool.
Yeah.
But for now,
no, you're right. That's fair. That's fair. He's had a lot of drops.
Yeah,
including against Cal.
But when he gets there, he's going
to be special. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he can cure the dropsies a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
man. Should we get out of here?
Let's get out of here.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, everybody. Sorry that this review was out as late as it was. It's been a really crazy week for both of us.
Yeah.
We're going to do our best to get the reviews out a little earlier in the future. But yeah, this is just the way it had to be today. So hope you enjoy it anyway. And we'll be back in a couple days with a preview episode for week 4. Get excited.
Ooh.